good evening. Welcome to the Focus TV. Joined, as always, we have Octavia Wyatt, Raymond Lyons, Cardo Dudley Jr., I'm Wilson Tarpe Jr., and we got a lot to get through. NBA playoffs continue to go forward. Since the last time we talked to you, we have left the Eastern Conference Finals and then the Western Conference Finals. We're now on to the NBA Finals, which start this week on Thursday night. We're going to get to that in a little bit. Ray got a Mystics update for you all. Cardo's going to talk a little bit about the Finals Magazine Open runs. That just started this past week, last Friday. Some DC United news. It's not good news. Just a quick update. DC United and their latest outing. And then we got some rapid fire, which I'm sure is going to be full with fun stuff because Twitter and social media and sports is never a dull moment, right? All right, we'll start with the NBA. Octavia, your thoughts now that the conference finals have finally concluded. Golden State was done a little bit earlier than, the teams out east, but we're here now. Your thoughts on the conference finals, and then we'll go around from Octavia, Ray to Cardell, and then what you guys have done. Talk about these conference finals. We can get to your final thoughts because between now and the next time we talk to everyone, it'll probably be like 3 games into the finals. Honestly, they are not playing. There's a game every other day. The old school travel days are taken away. The 3-day travel break is turned into it's essentially like a home and home almost type travel day now because of the play-in tournament. It affects the back end. Things got to get done early. We're like 23 days away from the freaking draft. It's that compressed right now. So Octavia, thoughts on the East and Western Conference Finals?
Yeah, well, I mean, we talked about the Western Conference last time, at least I did, and as we figured, Golden State went ahead and got a nice gentleman sweep out of that one. It's not really much to say. I mean, Luka did what he could. And as you can see, I feel like the game that they did win was the game, even though I won't say just that game, but it's the game where most of the others were making the open shots that Golden State was giving them. Without that, it was pretty tough for them. I mean, I heard one thing this morning, which was kind of made me think twice about it too, because I really thought that Andrew Wiggins was playing somewhat type of okay defense on Luka, but Luka was 51% from his shots on him. So it's kind of hard to be like, with 51%, even though I still think he did make it difficult for him. But it is what it is. We pretty much knew that Golden State was going to win that. On the other side, the Celtics is out here trying to give it away. They should have closed it out Friday night. Almost, blew, I think I said, a 13-point lead on Sunday night. And lucky for them, Jimmy Buckets was dog tired, because to have that open 3 at the end of the game, who knows what would have happened, and they would have been up by 1 with less than 20 seconds or so left. So, I mean, I'll be honest, I think Boston kind of skated away with that, even though they were the better team throughout the playoffs, throughout the series. They just weren't good at closing, and a lot of times they had a lot of turnovers. Like, turnovers was their Achilles heel in this entire series. And then it was just not a lot of consistency from them throughout the series. To say that, it takes for them to lose a game to come back with a lot of fire in the next game to win is not going to be the way to do it in the next series in the NBA Finals. But they got it done. They probably should have got a little bit more rest, but, now they finished up Sunday night. So they got till Thursday now to rest. And, I mean, they still got to take a cross-country trip because Golden State's to be the home team. So for them, they probably would have wanted to finish it out on Friday. I know they're just happy that they were able to, win the series. And, of course, congratulations to Jason Tatum winning the Eastern Conference Final MVP. I guess that's a thing now. And then Steph Curry winning the Western Conference Final MVP. The first ever, I guess. I don't know what this is going to mean going forward, if this is going to be like a big deal, but I guess we'll see as time keeps going.
Right.
Yeah. Like Octavia said, in the West, it's pretty much a foregone conclusion. I did expect Golden State to win. I expected the series to be a little bit more competitive though. But yeah, Golden State, they finished the job, got them up out of there, and got some leisure time before the finals started. I mean, they were just flat out the better team. We saw the deficiencies Dallas had. Sometimes they get careless with the ball. They're not a very big team, and Golden State just took advantage. You cannot make mistakes against them. The thing is, sometimes as much as they'll shoot you out the game, sometimes they can shoot you right back in the game, and they get a little loose with the basketball as well. But I mean, when when you're the better team, you can afford to make them mistakes more so than if you're the underdog. So yeah, Dallas they had to be as close to perfect as possible to pull off the upset, and for most of the games they weren't. Even I believe it was game 2. Luka had a huge game, and they were on the verge, but they couldn't get the win. Those are the wins you need when you're playing a team that's better than you. You got to take full advantage of all your opportunities, and they didn't do that. And Golden State went ahead and closed that out 4-1. On the other side, yeah, I feel like Boston should have ended that one a little earlier. They and we saw that against Milwaukee as well. They had a chance to go ahead and close it out without making it dramatic, but they both of those series ended up going 7 games. That means something at this stage in the season. First of all, you're already 82 plus in, so your body's taking a pounding. Your legs aren't fresh, so you need to take advantage of any rest you can get. So having those two series go as long as they possibly could, it's just another thing stacked up against them. In regards to the finals, man, it's going to be tough because their margin of error decreases tremendously. They won't have the same luxury to make the mistakes they did against in the previous 2 series. So yeah, man, it's going to be interesting, but nevertheless, they did get it done. They closed it out game 7 in hostile territory. You got to tip your hat off to them. And yeah, that game could have went a lot of different ways. When Miami started charging back at the end there, it got kind of spooky for them. So yeah, but they were able to close it out. Kudos to them, and they got a tall task ahead of them. Golden State's been here many times. Nobody on Boston has been on this stage before, so we'll see how they respond.
Cardell.
Yeah, for me on the Western Conference Finals, when as I felt, honestly felt like the Warriors should have swept them, but they were playing with their food a little bit. You know what I mean? So they gave them a little life, and just real quick, I'll tell you, whoever told you that to get you some wrong information. Luka shot 41% from the field and 34% from deep. We're not even gonna get in the turnover. So yeah, they locked him up pretty good. In the full quarter, he was non-existent, which is why they couldn't close, and he was the only consistent guy. I know Spencer Dinwiddie showed a lot of Wizards fans that he still has something left in the tank. Jalen Brunson, he gonna get a nice bag. He balled all year, man. If Dallas serious, they will keep him, but he gonna be expensive. So we're gonna see how that goes. But that's pretty much where their offense came from, so to speak, man. After that, it was wild cards. Maybe Finney Smith may show up. Maybe Bullock may hit some shots here and there. Maybe Kleber hit some threes, but overall, you couldn't really count on nobody past those 3. Where with the Warriors, they got a lot of guys they can throw at you in waves that can make shots, and they were better defensively. That's the thing. And that's not even Luka. Luka got to really get in better shape and really understand, like, as much as lethal as he is offensively, man, he damn near gives it back on defense, man. He didn't shoot well, but with Wiggins matched up against him, Wiggins averaged, he was tied with Clay for second best scoring on the team behind Steph at 18.6. And Wiggins shot 46% from the field, and Clay shot 47%. Steph, he had to deal with Brunson and Dinwiddie, so to speak, and he shot 44%, but he shot 43% from deep. And then as you move down the line, Jordan Poole, 63% from the field. They couldn't guard him at all. Draymond Green, I mean, he shot 56%. He don't even really want to shoot like that. You know what I mean? He averaged 10 points. Looney, 10 and 10. It's 70%. Like every time he shot, it went in. That's what you can't have that if you're really trying to win. It's not good if you're trying to get in the shootout with the Warriors. You're not going to win that battle, man. You got to get stops. That's the only way you're going to beat. You got to get stops and score. That's why they're a tough team to beat, man. So, gentlemen sweep. It is what it is. You move forward. Boston and Miami, it went 7. You got to give Miami credit. They showed a lot of grit because, truth be told, had the Boston Celtics had a little bit more experience with closing out games and not just making young, dumb mistakes like the game where Jason Tatum had like 7 turnovers and periods where Jaylen Brown was like he can't dribble. You know what I'm saying? He just turned the ball over. Just shooting bad hero shots at the end of the game, which allowed the Heat to creep up and get wins. This series should have been over, honestly, in 5 because outside Jimmy and you can't even really count on nobody else because everybody else was hurt. Hero was hurt. Kyle Lowry wounded. Outside Jimmy, who else could you count on to really score the ball? Like we knew they was gonna compete defensively, but it's not enough with the Celtics, who entire team defends. But they got guys that could put the ball in the basket outside Jalen and Jason. Al Horford, he's capable. You know what I'm saying? Like, Lyle Williams capable of getting lobs. Grant Williams, those guys. Derek White. It just go on and on. Marcus Smart stepped it up, man. It was tough. That's why I'm like I gotta give Miami credit for even pushing it to 7 games. And that game's the BS after game 6 was funny, with them being upset about what Draymond said or whatnot. Look, man, if it takes that to get you motivated to win a do or die game, then you belong at the crib anyway, man. Like, that's just, come on, man. Like, man, UD, all respect to him, man. Come on, man. The man shared his opinion, his view, and he ended up being right, which we all thought. Man, he just sounded like a bitter, grizzled veteran, man. He needs to chill, dog. Like, especially when you ain't getting it again, you gotta chill with all that, man. Like, but he Miami Heat to his die respect, man. But if they knew how to win, this is their first time kind of making this deep of a run. If they had the experience, I believe they would have put the Heat away. 5, maybe 6 at the most. You know what I'm saying? Giving Jimmy credit for having 2 big games in the series. So, that's it. But with the finals matchup, it's gonna be very interesting. This is gonna be a hell of a chess match, man. Probably outside the finals that they lost in 2016. This might be their most difficult round. I'm talking about the Warriors because they got some young horses that are hungry. But the thing I like about the Celtics is you don't lose nothing when they on the defensive side. Even reserves come in, man. They on the string. Even though the Warriors are a different animal, with the Warriors' advantage is Boston has had to defend teams with great isolation players, guys. The KDs, Giannis, you can kind of just wait for them and just wall up and just be tough and just, in a sense, hope they miss, but they're coming. You ain't got to look for them. With the Warriors, you got to chase them. You got to be constantly alert. You got to be aware of where they're going to be. It might be Steph, it might be Clay, it might be Wiggs, Looney, Otto Porter coming back, GP. They say he's getting healthy, he's coming back. Like, they got a lot of guys that are threats. And then you got Looney down there cleaned up. And obviously Draymond and whatnot pushing around. They're a different animal. And their IQ is what makes them special, man. You know what I'm saying? And that's the thing I saw with the Celtics against Miami. That I'm looking at them like, those mistakes ain't gonna cut it against the Warriors. They're gonna tear y'all ass up. Like, seriously, like it's gonna get bad. So it's gonna be interesting. But the Warriors got their little woes too, where the hero shots, man, they like when the shots are not falling from deep, they just keep ticking on. It's like, dog, y'all got to switch to southpaw. And that's the Celtics. You know what I'm saying? That's where the Celtics got the advantage. And I do believe they had the advantage inside with Al Horford and Lyle Williams. I'm just being honest. Looney's balling, but now he got to deal with some dudes. You know what I'm saying? And Al Horford. And I know if they, no disrespect, they looking at Draymond and Looney like, dog, we just dealt with Giannis and bam, like we ain't tripping. We not tripping off y'all, dog. Like we just not tripping. So it's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be a hell of a chess match. Udoka showed from the coaching standpoint that he was well qualified for the job. The adjustments he's made, motivating his team, putting guys in certain spots or whatnot. to be successful in what they're doing. I like how he's using Derek Wright. Remember, Derek Wright was starting early in the year. He moved into the reserve role to be like a big backup point guard. And that's what I'm saying. But he's more pass first. So it's a different look than what you get with Marcus Smart, who's focused on defense and whatnot more so. So he fits with that second unit, man. And, you always got the Peyton Pritchards and the Grant Williams. Grant Williams got cold against the Heat. That's one thing people got to keep an eye on. He went cold against the Heat. So you haven't really heard much from him since the Bucks series, man. So he's due. But that's if his confidence up to par. Like I said, this is their first time on this stage. It's different. It's like the playoffs are different from the regular season. So we're going to see how it goes.
Octavia, you have any thoughts you want to share on the finals? I know you talk about the conference finals, but
I mean, just like they both said, I think it is going to be a really good chess match. I was hoping that this would be the matchup as we kept going through the playoffs, because I think this is going to be the best matchups because, like you said, there's so many different players that each team can throw at each other, basically. I mean, you have Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown, who are good two-way players, but then, of course, you got Clay on the other side who's been shooting better. And then there's always, of course, Steph and Draymond. But I really do think it's going to come down to the bigs, like you said. Like Kevon Looney, like you said, he's been playing well. But outside of going against, and I mean, he didn't even really go against because Draymond really went against him, Jokic. He hasn't really seen another big that he's had to deal with. And I think if Rob Williams is not 100% healthy, but as healthy as he can be on that knee, which is why I really think they should have closed the series out on Friday, give him some extra time with all the ailments that they have, him, Marcus Smart's ankle, and all that other thing. And that's the other thing I kind of worry about because, I mean, just like you said with the Warriors, like they move a lot, and there's no team that Boston has really had to deal with that much ball movement. And now with Marcus Smart with an ankle injury, granted, he didn't have to move as much as he is, and you would think he's going to be the one defending Steph as much as anybody. And Steph moves everywhere. So, I mean, hopefully his ankle or his ankle foot, whatever it is at this point, is healed enough where he's able to play around the entire court. But I think it's going to be a really good series. I'm interested to see how it works out and how it goes. Yeah, I mean, you guys pretty much covered everything else.
Yeah, so again, I'm just reminded.
Jaren Jackson. That's who Looney faced.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay. I forgot about him.
Off. Good Lord.
Al Horford and Rob Williams. It's just that I'm looking at Rob Williams more defensively. The Warriors haven't seen nothing like that. I mean, Memphis as a team, I mean, Jaren Jackson blocks shots, but Rob Williams is different because Rob Williams to get out there and guard Steph and stay with him. Like he that's why I wanted him with the Wizards, but we're not gonna get into that.
It happens every time.
As soon as that man get brought up,
ahead,
you can set a clock to it. Give Cardell 45 seconds later.
Go ahead, dog.
But yeah, like y'all said, I think my biggest thing is it's not a knock against Boston. Their mental discipline is where I'm concerned about them. That's not that they're not mentally strong, but what you're talking about, Cardell, just IQ wise at times. Golden State puts so much freaking stress on you to stay disciplined defensively. It's one thing, like you said, where it's a set defense. Your defense ain't going to be set for this whole finals. Ain't no set defense. It's scrambling. It's cross matches. It's if two of you think the same thing, that's an open three. If one of you thinks the wrong thing, that's an open three. Mm-hmm. If three of you are thinking three different things, that's an open three. It's and throughout the Miami series, like you said, credit Miami for pushing them. And some of the reasons Miami was able to push them, just at times, Boston just kind of like here, I don't know where they were. And my whole thing was if Miami offensively could get into their sets and get people open, Lord knows they couldn't hit shots, but they could get people open. Golden State doesn't have the Miami issue of if they get an open shot, not being able to capitalize. So, I mean, we'll see. And then in turn, somebody going to have to help Andrew Wiggins out on the perimeter defensively. They're going to have to help. Clay, love you to death. You've been kind of – Andrew's been doing some heavy lifting, taking the L at the point of attack, so you can kind of, ease on back into this thing. And Clay said it. This isn't just coming from Wilson. Clay walked up to Andrew, gave him a big hug. Without you, yes, Lord, without him, because you would be tasked with chasing them folks. So far, The kids been tasked. Andrew and the kids have been tasked. Bro, there's Jason and Jalen.
Yeah.
You can go back, pick one.
It's not Andrew put him attack, Kavon help, Dre help. There's two of them things. So
and Fool guy, he got hold of them too.
Because they gonna hunt.
They gonna hunt him, yeah.
So that's the biggest thing. Just like I said, I probably got the edge of Golden State just because of the IQ and the being here. But even then, everybody on Golden State hasn't been here. But I like the fact that, the core, like you think about the, Steph, Clay, Dre, and Loon been here the whole time. Loon doesn't get a lot of love, but Loon's been here for a lot. Loon has seen a lot. So it'll be fun, man. I can't wait to see you guys next week and talk about it. We're going to take a first break. When we get back, Ray's going to give you updates on what the Washington Mystics have been up to as of late. You're watching the Focus TV. Welcome back to the Focus TV as promised. Ray, what has been going on with the Washington Mystics since the last time we've talked to these good folks?
All right. Well, right now they are up 7 in the fourth quarter on the Indiana Fever, thanks in part to a big third quarter. They closed that quarter out 24-13. They were actually down prior to that, so they came out after halftime with a rally. They are coming off a loss to Connecticut. That was just a game they were honestly never in. They were the Connecticut Sun. They just bullied them inside. They out rebounded them 41-19. The only thing that kept that game respectable was the Mystics created a lot of turnovers and they capitalized. Almost half the points came off points off turnovers in that game. But offensively, they just couldn't get it going. Which is atypical for them, but that was a game they didn't have Deladon or Alicia Clark. Coming into the season, they knew like they could set their clocks to games where Deladon wouldn't be there. Alicia Clark was kind of a surprise because she went in the health and safety protocols, but yeah, so they dropped that game. They're 6-3 on the season. With things still kind of being in flux, this is the most normal things have been for them basketball wise and since they won the championship, because 2020 was the bubble season. Then last year they just had the season from hell. So, all things considered, this is normal to them, even with having two players routinely in and out of the lineup. So there's still some shuffling with that, but the fact that they've been able to, to start the season as strong as they did, even with that inconsistency, it speaks volumes, man, especially since they've been kind of hanging their hat on defense. We just talked about the Celtics having to be in sync defensively. The Mystics, they're showing that, they're on the defense side of the ball. They're in tune with each other, even with having to shuffle the lineup so often. So, that's a pretty good anchor to, to kind of base your season on, because, Cardale says it a lot. That's the one thing you can control every single time is the defensive side of the ball. If that's what you're going to hang your hat on, then you pretty much have a chance. Like we just talked about with the Connecticut game, they gave themselves an opportunity because they were strong defensively, even with being out rebounded so badly, not shooting the ball well, and not being able to move the ball and get quality looks. The Connecticut wasn't able to put them away because the Mystics were able to get stops. So yeah, man, they're in a good spot. I think for them, knowing the situation they're in health wise with EDD and Alicia Clark, they're just trying to get to a point towards the end of the season, heading into the playoffs, where those two are as healthy as they can be heading into the postseason, because they're eyeing a championship. Like I said, this is really the first time they legitimately get a chance to go into a season under somewhat normal circumstances since 2019. And they believe every year since then they've been a championship caliber team, but due to different circumstances, they just haven't had a chance to maximize their potential. But yeah, man, like I said, they're 6-3. looking like one of the stronger teams in the league. So we'll see, man. They it's a lot of upside to this team right now. So so hopefully they can keep it rolling.
I appreciate it, Ray. We're going to take our second break. When we get back, some DC United updates. We'll see what Cardell have for us and rapid fire, which should be fun. Welcome back to the Focus TV. As promised, quick update on DC United. No taxi found us last weekend for the Black and Red due to back spasms when they hit the road to take on the New York Red Bulls. DC would lose Brad Smith in the 18th minute for precautionary reasons. I believe it was for an abductor injury. Chris Durkin came in to replace him. Durkin typically plays in the middle of the park. Due to the depth that was available on that night, he had to step in for Brad Smith, who plays wingback. Despite that, DC were able to go in a half with neither team surrendering a goal and with neither team registering a shot on goal. So 0-0 at the half, and then things changed rather quickly in the second half. Black and Red had a good opportunity to score in the 53rd minute, failed to capitalize. A minute later, the Red Bulls got on the board. Luquinhas would register a brace, scoring in the 54th and 58th minute. The first goal came after Meade originally blocked the shot by Amaya. Luquinhas was there to pounce on a rebound and knock it past the keeper. His second goal was a little bit more impressive. A ball was played into the box. Durkin headed it away, tried to clear it. The ball off the header probably didn't go as far as he wanted it to. And Luquinhas was there. He didn't let the ball hit the ground. He volleyed a rocket into the left side of the net, put his team up 2-0. New York's Lewis Morgan would score in the 63rd minute. So in that 10-minute stretch, New York Red Bulls ran off 3 goals. Lewis Morgan, he saw Luquinhas get a volley off and tried to match it. This initially started off a corner kick, so technically, I don't know, if you want to be picky, you can count this as another set piece goal that DC United surrendered. Is up to you. But it came off the corner. It was kind of a poor clearance. And then Lewis Morgan volleyed it into the net. Again, very rough 10-minute stretch, gave up 3 goals. Ola Kamara would score in the 87th minute, courtesy Julian Gressel, who Kamara kind of followed a teammate on initial run. Gressel dropped a really nice pass, and Kamara, being the veteran forward that he is, made sure that he finished. Then Tony Alfaro did what no defender ever wants to do, which was register an own goal. Barlow of New York, the Red Bulls got loose. He took a shot. It went off the bar, and then, momentum and the soccer gods, bad bounces, things happen. Right off Alfaro into the net to make it 4 goals on the day. DC United head coach Chad Ashton said, from the opening whistle, they outcompeted us, which is something nobody ever wants to hear. Your coach say, or fans to see at times. The Black and Red will play in the Capital Cup this week. They won't return to MLS play until June 18th due to the international break. All right, Cardell, rapid fire. The floor is yours.
All right. Bear with me.
Oh, sorry. Before rapid fire, finest mag open run. Yeah, I didn't know she wanted to share on that. Sorry about that.
Touch on that real quick. Yeah, it's year 2. Hey, we just started year 2 last Friday. Finest mag open run. Just 3 sessions to round up college guys in the area, some from out of the area where they can kind of have a safe environment to come in and play, not only just play amongst peers, but actually get better, work on the stuff they've been working on as the school year ended with their respective schools or with the trainers they've been working with since they came home. You get a chance to put all that to test to see what's working, what you got to adjust, what's not working. And it was a great turnout, man. We had it. This our first year doing it at Bowie State. Shout out to Bowie State, coaching staff, first class all the way through. Gave us everything we needed and more. And the guys, they showed up, and they did their thing. So for my first team from the first session is Ebi Asamoah, 6'4" guard from University of Delaware, super athletic. He actually came in the middle. We actually had a player go down with and rolled his ankle and somebody made a call that was sitting after losing the game, and he was in the area, so he just pulled up, and he ain't waste no time. He got right to it, dunking on cats, hitting threes. He thoroughly impressed. And people that don't know, University of Delaware went to the tournament last year, and he was one of the starters on that team. just looking at his, stats and stuff like that, he was known as a shooter. Like he shot 39% from deep last year, but he brought a lot more to the table than that, man. I mean, super bouncy, like head that rim bouncy, man. So he's super talented. He impressed. Taj Benning, 6'4" guard forward from Fairfield University, came with my folks from up in New York, and the Couch family drove down, and he's gearing up, getting ready for career overseas or possibly in the G League this upcoming season, and he looked like he went to work. He wasn't playing any games. He took the run serious from opening tip, shot well, moved without the ball, defended well, and without saying it, he kind of let his overall motor speak, where he was just going hard the entire time. And you can see when they lost, he didn't take it well. So he's on a mission, man. And a lot of the younger players that came that kind of just wanted to hoop, they realized they had to step their game up to that level, or they would be on the sidelines watching a lot. Derek Miney was probably the surprise of the open run, a 6'1" point guard out of Cheney University. Cheney is a D2 school, and if we eliminated all of that, if you just walked in the gym and just watched everyone play, you'd have swore he was one of the D1 guys, because he was killing them. He was hitting tough shots, crossing them up, making them turn around. And he's not a big guy. He's not a big guy at all, but he just knows how to score the ball, man. He just got a unique style with no matter who's on him. He understands how to get his shot off. He understands angles to create space, man. That's what makes him deadly. Got to improve defensively, man. Hey, look, I got a thing with being small, dog. Look, you may be small, but make sure if you can't bang with them, make sure it's life is hell for you to dribble on. You got to take something away. They can't just get whatever they want. Otherwise, it's hard to keep you on the floor. MVP to me, Kyrell Green, 6'4", Edinburgh University. He just did it all. Swiss Army knife guy, 3-4, 4-3 guy. Shot well from outside, ran the floor, super athletic. Defended all 5 positions well, rebounded the ball. He just did it. He just did everything, man. And he's another guy that is just getting ready for overseas. He just graduated, so he's looking for pro opportunities. But he shined, and DC kid, played the idea. He just, I always knew he had the game in him, but seeing him and what he's blossomed to from high school throughout college. He started at Niagara D1 school and then went to D2, and I'm ready to see what he's flourished into and built and blossomed into, where his IQ of the game, and he understands what he is. That puts him ahead of the game. A lot of players coming out of college, in a sense, they still feel there's something that they're not, man, and it don't work like that at the pro level. You got to realize what you are very fast and adapt. Otherwise, you won't have a job for long. And Quentin Mincy, 6'7" guard forward out of UMass Lowell. He was last year's MVP. He came through, shot the ball well, got noticeably big, obviously. Year playing Division I ball, working. He's shown he was working. The thing I was most impressed with was his unselfishness. Last year he came in, he was aggressive, but this year he let the game come to him. And then he brought it defensively. It wasn't your typical open run. You score, I score. He was trying to get up in guys. He got beat a couple times, but that happens if you're playing real defense. And then that's what he is, man. And that's what he did. So I'm just happy with his progression as a player compared to last year. And then on the second team, you had Trey Booker out of 6'4" guard of Livingstone. Dylan Edwards, 6'2" point guard. He'll be a freshman at Miami-Dade College, JUCO in Miami. Justin Faison, 6' point guard. UMass Lowell just graduated. Looking to go overseas. Jordan Harrison, 6' point guard at UNC Asheville, and Everett Hammond, 6'3" guard, UMass Lowell. This will be his last year at UMass Lowell. He also was solid in all aspects.
Yeah, I'm already looking forward to the second installment of this year's run. Cardell will be back next week. Tell you guys how this weekend's run goes. All right, Cardell, we got some time left of rapid fire, man. What you got for us?
Yes, sir. I'm gonna start with some guys coughing please. Alabama football coach Nick Saban said on Tuesday that he never should have singled out Texas A&M when he accused the Aggies of using name, image, and likeness deals to buy their top-ranked recruiting class during public comments he made 2 weeks ago. But Saban was quick to add that I didn't really say that anybody did anything wrong. At one point, a reporter interjected, pointing out to Saban that he had said A&M had bought every player. Saban replied, "I didn't say anybody did anything wrong." Typical Nick Saban. Name, image, and likeness rules allows players to earn money through endorsement deals, but oversight from NCAA has them scarce, leading to frustration among coaches. But when Saban called out Texas A&M by name, it heated up a big conversation around the country. 5 of the SEC's 14 head coaches met with the media before the start of spring meetings in Florida, but Fisher wasn't among them. Saban said on Tuesday, "I should have never mentioned any individual institution." Saban was asked by a reporter if Fisher was lying when he said Texas A&M did nothing wrong in his use of NIL. "I have no problem with Jimbo at all," Saban said. Octavia, what are your thoughts on good old Saint Nick?
I honestly I thought that like the older we get, the more like we understand stuff. Like, sir, you're old enough to know like what you were saying was implied. Like, come on. Like, yeah, I mean, but I didn't say they did anything wrong. Like, what? Like, then why did you bring it up? Like, it doesn't make any sense. So, like, to me, it's like either stand on it or just be quiet about it. Because it's like you trying to flip flop because now everybody don't like what you said, so now you're trying to backpedal. Like, no, stand on what you said. You're trying to say that they're buying everybody up, y'all doing everything right, but we're not getting the players because they're paying them to go there. Like, just say what it is. So I think it's kind of like you said. Well, I think it's kind of weak. That's just me. Like, like if you're gonna say it, say it. And at this point, like, if not, just stop talking about it. I know it's in the cycle, and I know they're having their SEC meetings this week and everything. So of course the media is going to ask it, but just stop. Like, just say that, you know, we didn't get as many people this year. And that's all it is. It's the fact that like he's used to being number one. And I think he finally sees a little glimmer of people like catching up to him, and he don't really like that. You know what I mean? I think they said this last year was the first year any of his assistants has ever beat him. I think he feels a way about that. And now he feels a way that said assistant that is now head coach at another institution is now getting more players than him. So it just sounds like, Nick, like you're out of your element at this point. And it goes back to the whole thing when we talk about NIL, like y'all just got to get used to it. Like, it's not going nowhere. Stop complaining. Like, y'all are getting paid 6-7 figures. Like, let them get a little bit of money. Like, I don't understand what the big deal is. All I've heard is that like they are wanting actual like guidelines and rules of and what sorts or whatever they're saying. But just stop it at this point. Like, either just say what you want to say or just be quiet.
Nick Saban worried about that Texas oil money. That's what he worried about.
Like, they got too much of it.
Yeah, he like, boosters, where y'all at?
Yeah, that's what he was really talking to.
Yeah, exactly. Ray, your thoughts on the plea carving dude?
Yeah, man. Shutting up was an option from the very beginning. So I'm glad everybody jumped on his neck. He probably thought that he was Nick Saban. He could say whatever he want, and his word is law. No, sir. You think somebody's just going to stand down while you call him out by name? When, if we being honest, you've been cheating the whole time. So, come on, dude.
Meat pot.
Like Octavia said, it was super weak. And then you look even weaker now that you're trying to moonwalk. Just, yeah, it was totally unnecessary from jump. Yeah, and he's just pouting. Like, how many years have you had the top recruiting class in all of college football, and now because somebody else got some players, you got an issue with it, you know? And then I know he was hot at Dion for getting that dude. So, and that has a whole different tone to it that I'm not even gonna get into right now because we don't have enough time. But yeah, man, that was weak. He deserved everything he got. He should get some more. Yeah, but you should just mind your business from the get-go. Like, it was completely unnecessary to do what he did.
Wilson.
Jimbo know where the body's buried. Leave Jimbo alone. You say what you want to every other assistant. Leave Jimbo alone. Jimbo does not have time to mess with you, and he has time to fight this out in the public. Leave Jimbo be. Leave Jimbo alone. Just leave him alone, man. Like, go mess with every one of your other assistants. Because Jimbo beat you and then was looking at you funny when he beat you. He wasn't happy. He was like, yeah. They want to take my suggestions sometimes, huh? Maybe you should have listened sometimes, huh? Maybe I did have a good idea. Like, Jimbo wanted all the smoke when he beat you. And then you got to talking crazy. All the other teams in the SEC, Georgia just dog walked you for the championship. You could have said Georgia. You said Jimbo. Leave Jimbo be, man. And then, yeah, I'm sure it does hurt. Your man, you know, you cool. You sharing the Aflac commercials and all that. And Travis Hunter was like, Dion. And you print DBs into the league. And it's great. But some Power 5 schools across sports, y'all gonna have to just accept this. With that becoming more of a factor, decisions a little bit more wider. And again, like Cardell, I think everybody here mentioned, if you wanted to make a call to your boosters to do more, you could have done so without talking about somebody else's business, especially someone who knows all your business. Like Jimbo knows exactly how the Alabama machine works. But shout out to you giving them more motivation with the extra money they got in Texas, where the biggest Texas comes before football comes before everything in Texas. So keep on messing with that, man. Keep on.
And Jimbo's not the only one that knows where the bodies are buried. So do Deion Sanders, from having been the Hall of Famer and analyst and having a wide network of guys. So, you see, that's why Nick Saban was copping a plea in that media day, like real quick. It was just unnecessary, and that's why I'm not a big fan of Nick Saban. Look, I understand he's a great coach. Some feel the greatest all time in the college football, can't argue it. But he always pouts. He always is a big baby. And I'm like, you're supposed to be a leader of men. So how you going to teach me not to pout? At least my age warrants me being a little immature. You old as hell. You still pouting, man. I'm not going to say it. I'm going to be polite. It just rings off little areas on the man energy. Let's just call it that.
The opposite of the melodic. Opposite of the lotto song.
It just brings that out. You just cry for no reason. You buck at reporters, man, just doing their job. Like, it's a consistency throughout the years of him doing this. And people just take it, they kiss his ass because he's Nick Saban and win the national championships or whatnot and all that. But it's a new day. It is what it is. Yeah. And you haven't been a college athlete myself. You know I'm all for athletes getting their bread. Like, I ain't saying they should be paid like LeBron James or something like that, but look, get something where you ain't gotta, you're not tripping. You can help your family. You damn sure helping the university make millions of dollars. Why not? You know what I'm saying? And it's just unfortunate that he's taking this path, man. And what he's really feeling is probably some players decommitting, players not picking up the phone no more. When he goes in players' homes, he's not just seeing the Alabama hat, he's seeing the Jackson State hat, he's seeing the Texas A&M hat, and they just like, yo, what's up? They not all in all of them like, yeah, man, he's here. It's just like, yeah, man, we can sit down and talk. What you got to say? It's just like that. And he don't like that. He's used to being able to get his way. And like a spoiled brat, he acted this way, man. Look, just focus on your team, coach him up. Because at the end of the day, if you're the greatest coach of all time, it don't matter what players you have, right? You're going to coach him up to achieve great success and keep winning, right? All right, we're going to leave it at that. We're going to move on. One more question. We're going to keep it in football, man. Good old NFL. Star defensive tackle Aaron Donald says he'd be at peace with his career if he and the Los Angeles Rams can't agree to a new contract. The Rams have acknowledged that they are working on a new contract with Donald, who is signed through the 2024 season and has no guaranteed money left on his deal. At the annual league meeting in March, Rams coach Sean McVay said that he was relieved that Donald had decided to return for the 2023 season. However, on the I Am Athlete podcast, Donald indicated that his return is contingent on getting a new deal. It ain't about the money, it's the business at the end of the day. Donald, 31 years old, said on the podcast hosted by former NFL players Brandon Marshall, Adam Pac-Man Jones, and LaShawn McCoy. That's what you've got to see. For me, is about winning. I don't want to play football if I can't win anyway. So I feel like if I got a real opportunity to win another Super Bowl, then it makes sense to play. But again, it's still a business. We got to handle business side of things, and if that wasn't to get handled, then it is what it is type of situation. I'll be fine regardless. Ray, we'll start with you. What are your thoughts on the Rams looking like they're about to F up the money?
It's typical, man. Like they don't. I feel in all these situations, it's a lot of ego involved. Like you need this dude to continue your success. Plain and simple, man. I'm not saying just give him whatever he wants, but you kind of got to give him whatever he wants.
Wilson running off the read. Wilson like,
So yeah, like and then you messing with a guy that sounds like he's going to be fine either way. Like he sounds at peace if he never plays another down. So the pressure's on them. They got to figure it out, and it's not like they have absolutely no leverage in the situation, pretty much, from the way he's talking and the fact that he's the best at his position in football. You're not going to replace that. Either you do what you need to do and get him back, or you got to go back to the drawing board and reshuffle the deck. So, hey man, that's like I like seeing players have franchises by the neck, man. It's it's good. It's good to see them dudes sweat. But yeah, man. Hey, if he got his Super Bowl, he seems like he can walk off into the sunset and enjoy the rest of his life. And if they don't come to the table with something respectable, they can go ahead and plan for life without Aaron Donald moving forward. It is what it is. So that's on them. And if they let that walk away, they deserve what they get.
Wilson, I know you happy. Go ahead.
Right, and go peak NFL, Rams. Go full NFL. No one man is bigger than the team. Let's go Rams. No one man to stop the show. Get that man out the division. Greatest offseason ever. Russ is gone. Take Aaron with him. Give my man Trey some peace. That's a perfect way to start your career. Aaron gone, Russ gone. I would love nothing more. But yeah, this is the thing with the Rams. Like some players, if it wasn't Aaron Donald, I'd be like, oh, they bluffing. Bro, all he needed to complete his stellar, and I mean stellar, first ballot resume, like even without the Super Bowl, like that resume was kind of mean for what he accomplished in 8 years. That Super Bowl is just the cherry on top. So it's up to you. I again, most players, I wouldn't believe it. But he, knowing what that resume looks like, look, man, like Ray said, if Aaron Donald said he's at peace, so be it. That said, if Aaron Donald has a price, you better pay it. You are not who you think you are without Aaron Donald. I know that. I'd love to see it though. Please make it a you know what contest. Please. I would love nothing more. But get that man his money so I could be sad, or don't give him his money so I could be happy. And if you don't want to give him his money, hey John, you know what you got to do, man. Make some things shake, man.
Octavia.
Yeah, it's just wild. Like the fact that the matters, like they even kind of like put him on the spot during like their championship parade when it was like, so you gonna come back, right? And he was just like, So it's like y'all do all of that, kind of bait him into saying like, okay, I'll come back, and like now y'all not trying to give him his money. And I don't blame him. I wouldn't play either with no guaranteed money again in the NFL. He's 31. He could retire now if he wanted to and have the rest of his life to like just chill, to be completely honest, even though I'm not saying he would, because I'm sure he'll make some type of career out of whatever he decides to do. But yeah, the Rams is crazy if they have an opportunity to re-sign him and they don't do it. Like it's just hands down, it's just ridiculous. Like any other team in the NFL, if they had the chance, would do it in a hot second. And I can't see any team not doing it. So with everything else that the Rams have done in this offseason, none of it means anything if they don't re-sign Aaron Donald. I don't care who else you signed Matthew Stafford to all of this. I mean, you still got to pay Cup. You pulled in all these other people that they've signed. I don't know what they're going to do with what's his name? Odell, whenever he decides once his knee is worked. But I think they got some they got Jalen, they got on the defensive side, like all of this stuff y'all did in the offseason means nothing without Aaron Donald. So, like Wilson said, don't pay him and just watch him ride out in the sunset, or pay him and see if you guys can, do it again. But either way, as long as he don't come at my weak little division, I'm good. Stay away from us. We don't want no problems at all. Not that anybody in our division can probably even afford him, or he would even think twice about coming anywhere in our division. But just in case there's something out there in the alternate universe, just throw that out there.
Man, every quarterback would demand a trade if he came in your division. Look, if he ain't happy, the Bowling family, get on that Suge Knight, just go up there and start announcing. If they ain't trying to extend you, come to the Broncos. I'll gladly take them. I'll look gladly. Like, but it's the NFL. It's just the NFL. Just man, the Eagles, and it's really the owners. The front office just pretty much the mouthpiece for the owners. It's really the owners. Yeah, if you ask them, they won the Super Bowl, like they were on the field, man. Like, man, your old ass was up in the suite just watching and drunk, man. You don't let these type of players just walk, dog. Like, these are the type of players that have earned the right to be paid and retire in your uniform, and you see them go in the Hall of Fame. I would love he deserved to retire around. I do not want to see him. Go on the Ewing type tour or something like that. Not saying he's on the decline because he's still at the peak of his powers. That's not, but you just don't want to see him go to another uniform and still dominate. And then they get killed in the media for like, yo, y'all had a championship, y'all had a potential dynasty, and you let the best player on the team walk away over ego and some money. And y'all know y'all got it. Y'all in LA, though. It ain't like it's just these owners, man. Sometimes they can't help themselves, man. You can't win for losing, man. So, look, man, Rams fan base, hope you enjoyed it. Looked like it was over before it began. It's about to be a Mark Cuban. Mark Cuban learned his lesson when they won the chip in 2011. They ain't been back relevant since Luka came. So, look, man, you don't want to play these games, man. When you got something special like this, you keep it. You know what I mean? But we'll see if they're going to be stupid and learn the hard way, man. Won't be the first time. Hate to go there, but, Raymond's team, good Lord, they're their perfect example of what I'm talking about, dog. It's just, good Lord, dog. It is what it is. They ain't won one since we were babies, damn near, man. It's just crazy. And they had them all with the blueprint. They had the blueprint.
Hey, look, and that's why I got faith that if any sport can mess it up, it's the NFL. Let's do it. You don't need him. He doesn't play quarterback. Matter of fact, don't pay him or Cooper Kupp. Let's get wild.
I forgot about him.
Let's go. Yeah. Let's set a precedent. Don't pay Aaron. Make Cooper mad. Get them all out the division. Get all of them out.
You stupid.
I'm here for all of it. Get them all out the division.
I would have had a blank check for Aaron when he was sitting on the field after the Super Bowl win with his family. Yeah, go ahead. What you want? Yeah, we got this already out the way. Here you go. Send it to your agent.
Matter of fact, hey, Jalen, while you watching, you know what's good? We got bread. We ain't pay our corners that much money. We got it. Cap going up. James on the way out. Got extra 50 mil. Just watch what they do with Aaron, Jalen. And he got to lead the division, buddy. You got you. And he got to go nowhere. Ain't nobody got your number. We can make 5 available. We can talk to Trey. Figure something out. Make 5 available. Do some things. But let's go Rams. Mess it up, please. Now I can openly cheer for Russell Wilson because he can't torment me. Like, that was my personal Michael Myers twice a year. Death tax, and he's going to hurt my feelings. It's just a matter of you tune in to see how he does it this episode. Are they going to beat the hell out you from the beginning? Is he going to let you get a lead and then walk you down? Or is it going to be bombs away the entire time? Like, you just don't know. But what I do know is he's on the Broncos. That's that division's problem. I wish you the best dealing with that squirrel-like quickness back there. And you guys have fun. But if y'all want to get rid of Aaron Donald, I'm all for it. That man has personally wrecked weekends of mine. Please let him go. Not going to get any passionate defense from me. Let that man go. I want to thank you guys for tuning in. As always, we'll see y'all next week. Wednesday mornings, 9:30 is up on our Roku channel. If you got a Roku television device, all you have to do is type in the search bar, the Focus TV. Then, hit OK twice. You add channel, and you got it. And that way, not only will you be able to watch this show, which comes on, again, Wednesday mornings, Everything else we got that goes up on the channel, all of our additional content that is uploaded, you guys have access to that as well. And then Friday nights on DCTV at 10 p.m. If you're outside the city, one way you can watch is go to dctv.org and watch the stream there. You can also go to dctv.org and see when the show re-airs throughout the weekend. And obviously, don't forget to get over to thefocustv.com. And we'll see you guys very, very soon. Y'all have a great week.